A sharp word slices the air. Night falls. The room is still. Your phone sits there. It's dark. No notifications. No calls. Just you. The weight of silence presses in. It's familiar, isn't it? That hollow ache. The world moves on. You're still here, alone. What if this isn't failure? What if this solitude? It's a choice? A kid. Strength. You've carved it. From years of lessons. From trusting too soon. From giving too much. From believing in diamonds, only to find stones. Every time you chase the crowd, something slips away. Your energy, your clarity, your fire. You trade your peace for noise, for faces that fade when the storm comes. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Why spend that power on those who don't stay? Look back. When did you last feel whole, without needing someone to fill the space? When did you last choose silence over the chatter? Before you answer, let a story remind you who you've always been. The subway hums. It's late at night. Dim lights flicker. A man sits alone. His coat is worn. His eyes are fixed. On the window, reflections of strangers blur past. Faces he'll never know. His name's Eli. He used to light up rooms. Always a laugh, always a drink, always a shoulder for someone else's weight. Years back, Eli poured himself out into others. He called them friends. He'd stay up late, listening to their stories, fixing their messes. He gave his time, his heart, his fire. They'd take it all, promising to stay. But when Eli's world cracked, when his job vanished, when his voice broke, they were gone, left him standing in the rain, phone silent, promises hollow. One night, like this one, Eli sat in this subway car. A text came, an old friend, needing a favor. His thumb hovered. Over. Reply. Have felt it. The pull to give again, to be needed. But something stopped him. The train's rumble, the cold glass against his forehead. He deleted the message. Eli looked out at the tunnel's darkness. It wasn't empty. It was vast, like a canvas, waiting for him to paint his own lines. He wasn't alone because he was broken. He was alone because he'd learned. Not every hand deserves your grip. You've been Eli, haven't you? Pouring water into cracked cups, watching it spill. What if solitude isn't a curse, but a forge? Let's see what it shapes. If you see yourself in Eli, we're still here, quiet, waiting. Lesson 1. Finding friends to fill the void. The clock ticks past midnight. Your apartment's dark. The blue glow of your phone. It casts shadows on the walls. You're slumped on the couch, scrolling through names. Old friends, co-workers, strangers you met once. You type, "Hey, long time no talk." Send. Nothing. Another. "You free this weekend?" Zine. Ignored. The void hits. It's cold. It's heavy. Like a fist in your gut. You scroll faster, desperate for someone to pull you out of this silence. You've felt this before. That hollow ache. The world moves on. You're left behind, so you run. Always have. Picture it. A Friday night. Packed bar. You're laughing too loud. Clinking glasses. With people who don't know your last name. You joined their group chats. Buzzing with memes. Buzzing with plans. You said yes to every half-baked invite. Game nights. Road trips. Late-night calls. Anything to drown the quiet. The louder you made your life, the emptier it got. Like pouring whiskey into a cracked glass, watching it spill, leaving you dry. You thought friends would fix you. A full contact list. It'd make you whole, so you chased them. The guy who only texted when his girlfriend left him. The co-worker who vented daily. Never asked about your pain, you sat through their rants, their crises, their endless needs, thinking it meant connection. You planned their birthdays, covered their tabs, carried their weight. But when your world cracked, when the job vanished, when the nights got too long, they were gone, left you standing in the rain. Phone dark, promises empty. Seneca said, happiness lies within you, not in the crowd. You ignored it, kept running, kept filling your days with voices to silence the one in your head, the one screaming, you're not enough. Every time you leaned on someone to quiet it, you lost a piece of yourself. Time wasted on texts that went nowhere. Energy drained by people who took your light. Control handed over to those who don't care. Look back. That night you stayed up, waiting for a reply. It never came. The weekend you spent with a group who forgot you by Monday. The favor you did for someone who didn't say thanks. What did it cost? Hours you could have spent building your own strength. Moments you could have spent facing the void, not running from it. The void isn't your enemy. It's a mirror. It shows you what you've been hiding from. Stop chasing shadows. They vanish in the storm. Turn inward. The crowd's loud. It's hollow. You're not. You're enough. You're still running. The void doesn't let up, does it? It's there in the quiet moments. Driving home, radio off, city lights blurring past. You feel it in the pause, between conversations. When the laughter fades, you're left with yourself. So you keep filling it. You swipe through apps, join new groups, say yes to plans you don't want. Anything to keep the silence at bay. It's not working. You know it. You felt it. That night, you went out with a group, all smiles and noise. You drove home emptier than before. You sat in your car, engine off, staring at the dashboard, wondering why. You felt so alone. In a crowd, that time you poured your heart out to someone you thought was close. You shared your fears, your doubt, your pain. They nodded, said the right words, then vanished. When you needed them most, left you exposed, smaller than before. You're chasing because you're scared. The void means you're broken. Without people around, you're nothing. So you cling to anyone who shows up, the friend who only calls when he's drunk, spilling his chaos into your life, the acquaintance who texts for advice, never checks on you. You let them in, thinking their presence probes your worth. Every time you do, you lose more. Your time spent on people who forget you, your energy drained by one-sided bonds, your control handed to those who don't deserve it. Epictetus said, you become what you give your attention to. What have you been giving yours to? People who take and leave, connections that fade. When the party's over, every time you chase the crowd to fill the void, you're betting on shadows. Shadows that vanish. When the lights go out, you've seen it. That moment you stood alone at a bar, watching your so-called friends drift away, their laughter echoing without you. The morning you woke up, phone still silent, realizing no one checked in. After you bared your soul, what if the void isn't a flaw? What if it's a signal, a call to stop, to turn away from the noise, to face yourself? You've been pouring your strength into others, hoping they'd make you whole. They can't. No one can. The crowd's a mirage, shimmering, empty. You're not empty. You've got fire inside. Stop giving it away. The void doesn't lie. It's brutal. It's honest. You've been running from it, filling your life with faces, with voices, anything to keep it quiet. It's still there, isn't it? Lurking in the dark corners of your mind. You feel it. stuck in traffic, staring at the red light, no one to call. You feel it, scrolling through old photos, seeing smiles that don't reach you anymore. You've tried to outrun it. You can't, so you doubled down, chased harder, signed up for that group outing, even though you hated small talk, stayed late at the office happy hour, nodding through stories. That didn't matter. You told yourself it was connection. It wasn't. It was noise. The louder it got, the more you lost. That night, you came home, head pounding, heart heavy, wondering why. You felt so small. That message you sent, pouring out your pain, only to get a thumbs up emoji. In return, you gave them your truth. They gave you nothing. You're not chasing friends. You're chasing a feeling, a moment where you feel enough. The crowd can't give you that. They never could. Every time you lean on them to fill the void, you hand over your control. You let their silence define you. Their absence cut you. You felt it. That sinking dread. The group chat goes quiet. The invite never comes. You've sat alone, replaying every word you said, wondering what you did wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. They just weren't yours to keep. Seneca said, you must live for yourself if you would live for others. Stop giving your life to people who don't stay. Stop betting on those who leave you empty. The void is your teacher, not your enemy. It's showing you what matters. Not the crowd, not the noise. You, your strength, your fire. What's the move? Stop running. Face the void. Let it teach you. Spend a night alone. No phone, no distractions. Sit with yourself. Ask what you want, not what they want from you. You'll find something there, something stronger than any crowd. The crowd's loud. It's hollow. You're not. You're enough. Lesson 2. Keeping toxic friends to save face. The coffee shop's crowded. You feel alone. You're sitting across from him, your old friend. He always shows up late. His voice cuts through the chatter. Loud, sharp, tearing into you. You're too quiet lately, man. Loosen up. You force a smile. Nod. Sip your coffee. It tastes bitter. You don't say what's on your mind. You don't walk away. You stay. Leaving feels like losing. You've kept him around for years. This friend who criticizes every move you make, who laughs at your dreams, calls them naive, who borrows money, forgets to pay it back. You see the red flags, every jab, every broken promise. You don't cut him loose. Why? He's familiar. Letting go feels like admitting you were wrong. You're scared of what people will say. You ditched him. Cold move. You hold on, hoping he'll change, hoping you won't look weak. It's eating you alive. Every hangout leaves you drained, like you've been carrying his weight. You replay his words at night, lying awake, wondering if he's right. Maybe you are too quiet. Maybe you don't measure up. You feel the pain, sharp and slow, eroding your confidence. You've let him stay. You're scared of the silence. That comes with cutting ties. Scared of being judged. Scared of standing alone. Marcus Aurelius said, you cannot control others, but you can control who stands beside you. You've ignored it, kept toxic friends. Saving face felt safer than facing the truth. Every time you let him cross your boundaries, another dig, another favor you didn't want to give. You lose something, your energy, sapped by his chaos, your self-respect, chipped away by his disrespect, your control, handed over to someone who doesn't care. Look back, that time he mocked you, in front of others. You laughed it off. That night he called at 3 a.m., ranting. You listened, instead of sleeping. What did it cost? Your peace, traded for his approval. Your strength, dimmed to keep the peace. You're not weak. Staying makes you feel it. You're still sitting there, in that coffee shop, his voice grating, his smirk cutting deeper than you'll admit. You could leave. You could say, enough. You don't. You stay, gripping your cup, swallowing the pain. Walking away feels like failure. You've built a story in your head. He's your friend. He's always been there. Cutting him off would make you the bad guy. You endure. It's killing you quietly. Every jab he throws. About your job, your choices, your silence, lands like a stone. You carry them home, stack them in your mind, until you're buried. Under their weight, you've heard him brag, while you shrink, seen him take, while you give. That time he borrowed $50, laughed it off. That night he trashed your plans, to chase his own chaos. You let it slide, thinking loyalty means taking the hits. Loyalty to him is betrayal to yourself. You're scared to let go, scared of the whispers. He's too harsh, dropped his oldest friend, scared of the empty space where he used to be, scared that without him, you'll be alone. You keep him close, even as he poisons you. Every hangout steals your fire. Every call drains your strength. You feel it, that slow bleed of confidence, that gnawing doubt creeping in. You're not yourself anymore. You're his shadow, shaped by his words, his needs, his disdain. Marcus Aurelius said, if it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. Why keep someone? Who makes you lie to yourself? Who makes you smaller? To keep the peace? Every time you let him stay, you choose his chaos over your control. You felt it. That moment, you bit your tongue. When he crossed the line, that night, you stayed quiet. While he tore you down, you traded your voice for his approval. It cost you. Look back. That argument, you let him win, just to avoid the fight. That favor you did, knowing he'd never return it. What did you lose? Your clarity, muddied by his noise. Your dignity, chipped away by his disrespect. You're not here to save face. You're here to save yourself. Cut the poison out. The crowd will talk. Let them. You're stronger than their words. You're still holding on to that friend who dims your light, to the weight of his words, his chaos, his careless cuts. You're standing at the edge, knowing he's toxic. The step to let go feels too heavy. You see it. His smirk when he puts you down. His excuses when you need him. You stay, choosing pain. To avoid looking weak, it's a trap. Every time you let him stay, you bleed. You feel it, the tightness in your chest, when he interrupts you, dismissing your thoughts. The sleepless nights, replaying his jabs, questioning your worth. That time he laughed off your promotion, saying you got lucky. That weekend he dragged you into his drama, leaving you to clean up the mess. You stayed silent, thinking it's what friends do. Friends don't carve holes in your soul. Friends don't make you doubt your strength. You're scared to walk away, scared of the void he'll leave, scared of the judgment. His, theirs, yours. What kind of man cuts off a friend? You ask yourself. You keep him, hoping one day he'll see you, value you. He won't. He never has. Every moment you spend saving face, you lose control. You lose the man you could be. You felt it, that sinking dread, when his name lights up your phone, knowing it's another demand, another dig. You answer anyway. It costs you. Marcus Aurelius said, protect your mind as a fortress. Why let him storm your walls? Why let his poison seep into your thoughts? You're not here to carry his weight. You're here to stand tall. The move is simple, not easy. Say no. Walk away. Let him go. The crowd might whisper, Let them. Their words can't touch you. What's it worth? Another night of his mockery? Or your peace? Another favor for his chaos? Or your strength? Choose yourself. Cut the tie. Stand alone if you must. You've done it before. That moment you walked away from a fight, head high, silent, you felt it, your power. It's still there. The tree that sheds a rotten branch doesn't fall. It grows. You're that tree. Strong, unbroken. Lesson 3. Equating quantity with quality. Your phone buzzes. Another notification. A group chat lighting up. Emojis. Plans. Noirs. You scroll through it. See the names. Dozens of them. People you've met at bars. Work. Gym. Your feed's full of their posts. Vacations. Beers. Grins. You've got hundreds of followers. Likes piling up. On your last photo, you lean back. Tell yourself you're connected. You're in. You're enough. Deep down, you feel it. The hollowness. The lie. You've built a crowd. A long list of names. You can text at midnight. You're proud of it. Proof you're not alone. You've been to their parties. Clinked glasses. Shared memes. You've got stories. Photos. Moments. When was the last time one of them called? Just to listen? Not to vent. Not to ask for something, but to hear you. You can't remember. Quantity isn't quality. You've been chasing the wrong thing. It's a trap. You say it for yourself. More friends. More worth. You collected them. The guy from work who talks sports, never asks about your life. The old classmate who only shows up when she needs a favor. You keep them all. Add more. Thinking numbers will fill the void. They don't. They pull you apart. You feel it. That night you stood in a packed room, shouting to be heard. No one really saw you. When you posted that big win online, got 100 likes. No one called. To say they're proud, Epictetus said, only keep what's worth keeping. Now, within your control, you've ignored it, kept piling on connections, thinking they'd prove you're somebody. Every shallow tie costs you time spent on chats that go nowhere, energy drained by people who don't know your pain, control lost to a crowd that doesn't care. You've been running a race with no finish line, chasing numbers to hide from the truth. You're still alone in the noise. Look back. That group outing where you laughed but felt invisible. That message you sent to 10 people, hoping one would reply with something real. What did it cost? Your focus scattered across faces. That fade. Your strength wasted on bonds. That break. You don't need a crowd. You need a few who see you. You're still chasing the crowd, counting heads, stacking names, filling your life with noise. Your phone's a trophy case. Contacts, followers, likes. You point to it. Tell yourself it means something. You're connected. You're wanted. You're enough. Late at night, the screen goes dark. The truth creeps in. You're surrounded. You're alone. You've fallen for the lie. More friends. More worth. You keep adding. The guy from the gym who texts workout tip, never asks how you're holding up. The coworker who invites you to drinks, forgets your name half the time. You say yes to their plans, their chats, their chaos, thinking it builds something real. It's smoke. You feel it. That night you stood at a party, packed with faces. No one knew your pain. When you shared a post, got a flood of likes, woke up to a silent phone. No calls, no care, just noise. You're scared to stop. Scared that without the crowd, you're nothing. Scared the quiet will swallow you whole. You keep running, keep collecting, keep pretending the numbers mean you're not alone. Every shallow connection pulls you further from yourself. You felt it. That moment you left a group hangout, head buzzing, heart empty, wondering why you bothered. When you scrolled through your feed, saw their perfect lives, felt smaller than before. You're giving your time to people who don't see you, your energy to bonds that don't hold, your control to a crowd that doesn't stay. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Why want 1,000 hollow ties? Why crave the applause of strangers? Every time you chase quantity, you lose quality. You lose the chance to find the few who matter. You've seen it. That friend who showed up when you were at your lowest, no questions asked. That one call that felt like home. Those are rare. Those are enough. Look back. That group chat you muted because it drained you. That event you went to just to be seen, left feeling invisible. What did you lose? Your clarity, clouded by their chatter. Your strength, spent on people who don't know your soul. You don't need 100 hands to hold. You need one that won't let go. The crowd's a mirage. You've been chasing it, stacking names like trophies, thinking numbers mean your woe. They don't. You're still here, late at night, streetlights flickering outside, your phone silent. You've got 100 contacts, 1,000 followers. When the world gets heavy, who's there? No one. The truth cuts deep. Quantity isn't quality. You've been betting on the wrong hand. You've poured yourself into the noise, said yes to every invite, every group, every ping. You thought it proved you belonged. It's a lie. You feel it. That night, you stood in a bar, surrounded by laughter. No one saw your pain. When you posted your life online, got a flood of likes. Not one call to ask how you're really doing. You've been collecting faces, not friends. Every shallow tie pulls you further from the man you are. You're scared to let go, scared that without the crowd, you'll vanish, scared the silence will expose you. You keep adding, keep scrolling, keep pretending the numbers fill the void. They don't. They steal from you. Time spent on people who forget you. Energy drained by chatter. That means nothing. Control lost to a crowd that doesn't know your soul. You felt it. That moment you left a party, heart heavy, wondering why you went. When you checked your phone, saw no messages, felt the sting of being unseen. Epictetus said, "Focus on what's in your power. Let the rest go. Stop chasing 1,000 shallow ties. Stop measuring your worth by likes, by invites, by names. You're not here to be everyone's friend. You're here to be true. The move is simple. Choose quality. Find the one or two who see you, who stay when the storm hits. You've known them. That friend who listened when you broke, who didn't need you to perform. That's enough. What's it worth? 100 likes or one real talk? A packet room or one hand that holds steady? Let the crowd fade. Keep the few who matter. You've done it before. That moment you walked away from the noise, felt your strength return. It's still there. One true friend outweighs 1,000 shadows. You're not alone. You're enough. Lesson 4. Opening your heart too soon. The diner's neon glow spills onto the street. You're at a corner table, coffee gone cold, talking to someone new. They're easy to talk to, smiling, nodding, asking the right questions. You feel a spark, a pull. You let it out. Your fears, your dreams, the pain you've carried. For years, words spill like water. For a moment, you feel light, zen. Days later, they're distant, their texts slow. Your confession hangs in the air, unanswered. You're left exposed, raw, alone. You've done this before. Opened your heart too fast, too wide. A new friend at work, Stoic et Epictetus. Someone who seemed different. You thought they'd get it. Hold your truth carefully. You shared your struggles, your doubts, the parts of you you've kept locked away. You gave them a piece of your soul, hoping they'd give one back. They didn't. They took it, nodded, walked away, left you smaller, wishing you'd stayed silent. It's a reflex. You're tired of the void, tired of feeling unseen. When someone listens, you pour it all out. You think it's connection, trust. It's a gamble. You've felt it. That night you told a new friend about the job you lost. The weight of it. They pulled back, awkward, uninterested. When you shared a childhood scar with someone you thought was close, they changed the subject. You gave them gold. They gave you dust. Seneca said, "Test before you trust." As a jeweler tests gold, you didn't listen. You opened your heart too soon, thinking honesty would build a bond. Every time you do, you risk your control. You hand over your truth to someone who hasn't earned it. You felt it, that sinking dread. When their replies stop, when their eyes glaze over, you're left replaying your words, wondering why. You said so much. You're not weak. For wanting connection, giving it too fast leaves you open to pain. Look back, that time you bared your soul to a new friend, only to hear your story repeated as gossip. That moment you shared your fears. They used them against you. What did it cost? Your trust shattered, your strength sharpened. You don't need to hide. You need to wait. Not everyone deserved your heart. You're still opening up too fast, letting your guard down. Before the dust settles, you feel it, that pull to share, to be seen, to lay your soul bare. It's not weakness, it's human. Every time you do it too soon, you bleed. You're sitting there, in that diner's dim light, words pouring out. You think this time's different, this person's different. They're not. They nod, they smile, then they drift. You're left holding the pieces of a trust you gave too freely. You've been here. That new friend you met at a conference, he seemed to get you. You told him about the nights you couldn't sleep, the weight of your choices. He listened, said he understood. A week later, his text stopped. That guy from the gym asked about your life over protein shakes. You shared a scar, something raw, real. He shrugged, changed the topic. You felt it then, the sting of giving gold to someone who only sees stones. You're scared to hold back, scared that if you don't open up, you'll miss something, a bond, a chance to be enough. You keep pouring, keep trusting, keep hoping this one will stay. Every time you open your heart, too soon, you lose control. You hand over your truth to someone who hasn't proved they can hold it. You felt it. That moment their replies turn cold, leaving you exposed. When your story comes back, twisted, passed around like cheap gossip, your pain, once private, now a punchline. Seneca said, "The wise man guards his heart as a treasure." Why give yours to someone who hasn't earned the key? Why let a stranger walk through your walls? You're not here to bare your soul to everyone who smiles. You're here to protect it. Every time you share too soon, you risk your strength. You've seen it. That friend who used your vulnerability to feel bigger, who took your trust, left you smaller. You didn't deserve that. You invited it. Look back. That time you told a new coworker, "You're duped." They pulled away, uneasy. That night you shared a fear with someone you barely knew. They never looked at you the same. What did it cost? Your peace, fractured by their distance. Your confidence, shaken by their silence. Trust is gold. Don't hand it to thieves. You're still giving too much, too soon, opening your hurt like it's a door without a lock. You feel the urge. Someone listens. You spill everything. Your pain, your hopes, the raw edges of your soul. You think it's connection. They'll meet you there. They don't. They take your truth. Nod. Walk away. You're left standing in the cold, wishing you'd kept silent. You've done it before. That new friend you met at a bar, eyes bright, voice warm. You told them about the fight with your brother. The weight it left, they seemed to care. You kept going, shared the nights you felt lost, the dreams you buried. Days later, they ghosted. That coworker who asked about your weekend, you let slip the ache you've been carrying. They smiled, changed the subject. You felt it, the sting of bearing your soul to someone who didn't want it. Your gold, tossed aside like dust. You're scared to hold back, scared that if you don't share, you'll stay unseen, scared the void will win. If you don't find someone to fill it, you keep opening up, keep trusting too fast, hoping this time they'll stay. Every time you do, you lose control. You hand your heart to someone who hasn't proved they can hold it. You felt it, that dread when their texts stop, their warmth turns cold, when your story comes back, twisted, used against you. Your pain, once yours, now a weapon. Seneca said, "Time reveals the truth of men." Why rush to give your soul before time has spoken? Why trust before you've seen their weight? You're not here to pour yourself out to every passing face. You're here to guard your strength. The move is simple. Wait, watch, let them show who they are. You've known the ones who earned it, that friend who stayed when you were broken, who held your truth without flinching. Those are rare. Those are enough. What's it worth? A fleeting moment of feeling seen, or your peace, a quick spark of connection, or your confidence. Hold your heart close. Let time test the gold. You've done it before. That moment you stayed silent, felt your power grow. It's still there. Trust is a treasure. Don't give it to those who'd trade it for stones. You're enough. Lesson 5. Finding friends to prove your worth. The bar's hum is low, glasses clinking, laughter spilling from a corner table. You're there. Not really. You're watching them. Your friends, or so you call them, talking, joking, living loud. You smile, nod, play the part. Inside, a voice whispers. They don't see you. You're not enough. You try harder, crack a joke, buy the next round. Anything to make them stay, to prove you belong. You've been here before, chasing friends. To quiet that voice, you collect them like badges, people to fill the seats, to clap for your life. You thought their laughter, their presence, would drown out the doubt. You sought them out. The guy from work, who always has a crowd, you tagged along, hoping his light would rub off. The old friend who posts perfect moments online. You called him up, craving a piece of that shine. You wanted their eyes on you, their approval, to feel like you matter. Their laughter doesn't fill you. Their nods don't make you whole. You feel it. That night you went all out, hosting a party, pouring your energy into every detail. You lay awake later, wondering why it felt so empty. When you joined that group trip, laughed at their jokes, drove home with a knot in your chest. Unseen. You're chasing their validation, thinking it'll prove your worth. Every time you do, you lose something. Marcus Aurelius said, "Your value doesn't lie in what others say of you." You didn't hear it. Kept running, kept collecting friends to silence the voice that says you're not enough. Every time you lean on their approval, you give away your control. You felt it. That sting when they forget your name in a story, when they overlook your pain for their own. You're not here to be their proof. You're here to be you. Look back. That time you stayed late to impress a group, only to feel smaller when they left. That moment you shared a win, hoping they'd cheer, got shrugs instead. What did it cost? Your time spent on people who don't see your fire, your strength dimmed by their indifference. You don't need their eyes to shine. You're enough without them. You're still chasing their eyes, seeking friends to prove you're enough. You feel it, that gnawing need to be seen, to have your name remembered, your story valued. You're at that bar again, forcing a laugh, raising your glass, hoping they notice, hoping they stay. The night ends. You're alone in your car, streetlights flickering. The void is louder than ever. Their approval didn't fill it. It never does. You've built your life around them, the friend with the perfect job. You hung out, mirrored his moves, thinking his success would lift you. The group always posting their adventures. You joined their trips, smiled for their photos, craving a piece of their glow. You thought their cheers would quiet the voice, the one that whispers, "You're not enough." You gave them your time, your energy, your soul. You showed up, performed, played the part they wanted. They didn't see you. Not really. You're scared to stop. Scared that without their validation, you'll fade. Scared the silence will prove you're nothing. You keep chasing, keep proving, keep performing for a crowd that doesn't care. Every time you do, you lose control. You felt it. That moment they forgot your story, left you out of their plans. When you shared a dream, they brushed it off, leaving you smaller. You're not here to beg for their light. You have your own. Marcus Aurelius said, "Look within. Your strength is there, not in their words. Why seek your value in their glances? Why let their silence cut you? Every time you chase their approval, you hand them your power. You've seen it. That night, you stayed up, refreshing your phone, waiting for their reply to your big news. When you changed your plans to fit their schedule, only to be sidelined. You gave them your fire. They gave you ashes. Look back. That time you laughed louder to fit in, felt hollow inside. That moment you helped a friend, hoping they'd see your worth, only to be ignored. What did you lose? Your clarity, clouded by their indifference. Your confidence, shaken by their oversight. You don't need their hands to stand. You've got your own. You're enough. The crowd's a mirage. You're still seeking their nod, chasing friends to prove your worth. You're in that bar. Lights dim, their laughter loud. You're not part of it. You try harder. Tell a story. Raise your voice. Hope they'll turn. Hope they'll see you. They don't. You drive home. City streets blurring. The silence screaming, "You're not enough." You've been betting on their approval to quiet that voice. It's a losing game. You've built a life around their eyes, joined their circles, their plans, their noise, thinking their cheers would make you whole. That friend with the big following, you tagged along, posted with him, craving his spotlight. The group always out, always loud, You showed up, matched their energy, hoping their glow would rub off. You gave them your nights, your laughs, your soul, believing their presence mean you mattered. The music stopped. They left. You were alone, staring at a dark phone, their silence cutting deeper than any word. You're scared to let go, scared that without their validation, you'll vanish, scared the void will prove you're nothing. You keep chasing, keep proving, keep performing for a crowd that doesn't care. Every time you do, you lose control. You felt it, that sting when they forgot your name in a toast, when they moved on without you, when you shared a piece of your pain. They shrugged, uninterested. You're not here to be their mirror. You're here to be you. Marcus Aurelius said, "The opinion of others is no measure of your worth." Stop letting their glances define you. Stop letting their silence break you. Every time you seek their approval, you give away your strength. You've seen it. That night you stayed late, trying to impress, only to leave empty. When you changed yourself to fit their mold, lost a piece of your fire. You didn't need their light. You had your own. What's it worth? Their fleeting cheers, or your peace? Their shallow nods, or your power? Stop chasing their eyes. Look within. You've done it before. That moment you stood alone, felt your hurt steady, your soul strong. It's still there. You don't need a crowd to prove you're enough. You are. One spark of your own fire burns brighter than their 1,000 shadows. Lesson 6. Avoiding solitude by blending in. The city pulses outside. Your window glows. Neon lights flickering. Voices spilling from the street. You're on your couch, scrolling through invites, group chats, bar nights, vacant plans. Your thumb hovers over join. You don't want to go. The silence in your apartment feels heavier than the noise. Out there, you say yes. You blend in. You hide from the void. You've done this before. Run to the crowd to escape yourself. You've slipped into their rhythm, laughing at their jokes, nodding at their stories, wearing the mask they expect. You thought blending in would make you feel alive, make you forget the quiet. You joined them, the work friends who drink too loud, talk too fast, the old crew who plan trips you don't care about. You showed up, played the part, thinking their energy would fill the hole inside. It didn't. It never does. You feel it. That night you stood in a packed club, music thumping. You were miles away. You smiled, shouted to be heard. No one saw your pain. When you went along with their plans, hiked their trails, drank their shots, came home drained, staring at the ceiling, still alone. You're not connecting, you're escaping, chasing their noise to drown out your own thoughts. Every time you blend in, you lose something. Epictetus said, "Solitude is a chance to meet the most important person, you." You didn't listen, kept running to the crowd, thinking their chaos would save you from the silence. Every time you hide in their noise, you give up control. You've felt it. That moment you stayed out, too late, just to avoid your own thoughts. When you said yes to a plan that wasn't you, felt your soul slip further away. You're not here to be their echo. You're here to be whole. Look back. That time you joined a group. You didn't fit, just to feel something. That night you laughed along, drove home empty, unseen. What did it cost? Your time, spent on people who don't know you. Your strength, dimmed by their clamor. You don't need their noise to feel alive. The silence isn't your enemy. It's your home. You're enough. You're still running from the silence, drowning it in the crowd's roar. You're at that bar again, neon buzzing, voices clashing, your drink sweating in your hand. You're nodding, laughing, blending in. You're not here, not really. You're hiding from the void that waits when the music stops. You stay, chase their energy, hoping it'll make you feel whole. You've been here before, slipping into their rhythm to escape yourself. You joined that work happy hour, shouting over the noise, pretending you cared about their stories. You signed up for that group camping trip, hauled their gear, laughed at their jokes, thinking their fire would warm you. You thought blending in would quiet the thoughts that haunt you, those late-night questions about who you are, what you want. The crowd doesn't answer them. It makes them louder. You felt it. That night you left their party, head spinning, heart empty, wondering why you went when you followed their plans. Lay awake later, still lost. You're scared of the silence, scared that facing it mean facing your pain, scared that without their noise, you'll find nothing inside. You keep blending, keep saying yes, keep wearing their mask. Every time you do, you lose control. You felt it. That moment, you stayed out, chasing their chaos. When you could have been home, thinking, growing. When you nodded along, agreeing with their nonsense, felt your soul shrink. You're not here to echo their noise. You're here to find your voice. Epictetus said, "Don't fear solitude. It's where you meet yourself. Why run from it? Why let their clamor define you? Every time you blend in, you trade your strength for their approval. You've seen it. That time you went along with their drama, only to feel smaller when it ended. When you joined their crowd, hoping to belong, left feeling more alone. You didn't need their fire. You have your own. Look back. That night you said yes to a plan that wasn't you, just to avoid the quiet. That moment you laughed to fit in, felt hollow inside. What did you lose? Your clarity, buried under their noise. Your power, dimmed by their chaos. The silence isn't a threat. It's a mirror. Step into it. You're enough. The silence is still there, waiting. You keep running, blending into the crowd, to keep it at bay. You're in that club again, bass pounding, lights flashing, bodies packed tight. You're shouting over the noise, laughing with strangers, playing their game. Your heart's not in it. You're hiding from the void that creeps in when you're alone. You stay, chase their chaos, hoping it'll make you feel alive. You've done this too many times, slipped into their rhythm to escape your own thoughts. You joined that group chat. It never stops, filled with plans you don't want. You showed up to their late-night hangouts, nodded through their rants, thinking their energy would drown out your pain. You thought blending in would make you forget the questions that haunt you, who you are, what you're worth. The crowd doesn't answer. It buries you. You felt it. That night you left their party, ears ringing, soul empty, wondering why you bothered. When you followed their lead, drove home lost, unsane. You're scared to face the silence, scared it'll show you a truth you're not ready for, scared that without their noise, you'll find nothing but doubt. You keep blending, keep saying yes, keep losing yourself in their clamor. Every time you do, you surrender control. You felt it. That moment you stayed out, chasing their vibe, when you could have been home, facing your fire, when you agreed to their nonsense, felt your soul slip away. You're not here to be their shadow. You're here to stand tall. Epictetus said, In solitude, you find the strength to carry yourself. Stop running from it. Stop letting their chaos define you. Every time you blend in, you trade your power for their fleeting noise. You've seen it. That time you went along with their drama, only to feel hollow when it faded. When you joined their crowd, hoping to belong, lift more alone than ever. You don't need their roar. You have your own. What's it worth? Their loud nights or your peace? Their crowded plans or your purpose? Step into the silence. Sit with it. Ask what you want, not what they expect. You've done it before. That moment you turned off the noise, felt your strength rise. It's still there. The crowd's a storm. You're the anchor. You're enough. Lesson 7. Not setting boundaries with friends. The rain taps your window. Streetlights casting shadows. Across your room, your phone buzzes. His name again. Your friend, the one who always needs something. Can you talk? He texts. It's late. You're drained. You answer, like always. You let him in. Let him spill his chaos. Let him cross the line. You never drew. You're sinking. His weight pulling you under. You've done this before. Let friends walk through your walls. Without a word, you thought that's what loyalty means. Being there. No matter the cost. You gave them free rein. The buddy who calls at midnight, ranting about his fights, never asking about your pain. The co-worker who leans on you for every crisis, taking your time, your energy, your soul. You didn't stop them. You didn't say no. You thought boundaries were cold. They'd push people away. You left your gates open. They stormed through. You feel it now. The toll it takes. Every favor you gave, every late night call you took, chipped away at your strength. You felt it. That moment he interrupted your quiet night, dumping his drama, leaving you restless. When she asked for another loan, knowing you'd say yes, you did. Your good screamed no. You're not their savior. You let them treat you like one. It's breaking you. Your peace fractured. Your confidence eroded by their demands. Marcus Aurelius said, guard your mind as a fortress. You didn't. You let friends cross your boundaries, thinking it proved your worth. Every time you let them take, you lose control. You felt it. That dread when his name lights up your phone, knowing it's another pull on your soul. When you said yes to their chaos, your own world tilted. You're not here to carry their storms. You're here to stand steady. Look back. That time you dropped everything for his crisis, only to be ignored when you needed him. That moment, you let her demands override your plans. Lost a piece of yourself. What did it cost? Your time stolen by their needs. Your power dimmed by their weight. You don't need to shoot everyone out. You need lines they can't cross. You're enough without their chains. You're still letting them cross. Your friends stepping over lines you never set. The reins heavier now, drumming against your window. Your phone keeps buzzing. It's him again, needing you to fix his mess. You could say no. You could shut it off. You don't. You let him in. Let his chaos flood your space. You think that's what friends do. Every time you lose a piece of your soul, you've been here too long. Open gates, no guards. You thought boundaries meant pushing people away. You left yourself wide open. The friend who calls at dawn, venting his anger, never asking about your pain. The coworker who borrows your time, your ideas, your fire, then forgets you. When the spotlight comes, you didn't say no. You didn't push back. You thought it made you loyal, strong enough. It didn't. It made you their crutch, not their friend. You feel the weight now. Every unanswered boundary costs you. You felt it that night he called, dumping his chaos, leaving you sleepless, your own world unsteady. When she leaned on you for weeks, draining your fire, vanished when you needed a spark, your peace shattered by their demands, your confidence chipped away by their disregard. You're not their anchor. You let them sink you. It's pulling you under. Marcus Aurelius said, "Your mind is your fortress. Defend it. Why let their needs overrun your strength? Why let their weight bend your spine every time you let them cross? You give up control. You felt it, that dread when her text comes. Another favor you can't refuse. When you stayed quiet as he took too much, felt your soul shrink. You're not here to be their savior. You're here to stand firm. Look back. That time you let him interrupt your night, knowing it leave you empty. That moment you gave her your energy. Got silence when you needed her. What did it cost? Your clarity lost in their chaos. Your power drained by their weight. Draw the line. Say no. Protect your fortress. You've done it before. That moment you held your ground, felt your strength rise. It's still there. One boundary doesn't break a bond. It builds it. You're enough. The rain hasn't stopped. It's pounding now, a steady roar against your window. Your phone still glows. His name flashing again. Another text, another pull, another demand on your soul. You could turn it off. You could draw the line. You hesitate, caught in the lie. That saying yes makes you a friend. Every time you let him cross, you feel it, the slow bleed of your strength, the fracture of your peace. You've let it go too far, left your boundaries unmarked, your fortress unguarded. You thought that's what friends do. Open the gates, take the hits, carry the load. You did for the friend who leans on you every time his life cracks, never asking about your pain. For the colleague who takes your time, your ideas, your fire, walks away when you need a spark. You didn't say no. You didn't push back. You thought boundaries were walls. They'd break the bond. They don't. They build it. You've been tearing yourself down instead. You feel the cost. Now every line you didn't draw weighs on you. You felt it. That night he called, dumping his chaos, leaving you sleepless, your own world unsteady. When she asked for one more favor, knowing you'd give in, you did. Your gut burned, your clarity clouded by their needs, your confidence chipped away by their disregard. You're not their shield. You let them wield you. It's breaking your core. Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not their actions. Why let their demands storm your fortress? Why let their weight bend your spine? Every time you let them cross, you lose control. You felt it, that dread when his text comes. Another pull you can't escape. When you stayed quiet as he took too much, felt your soul shrink. You're not here to be their savior. You're here to stand unshaken. What's it worth? Their endless needs, or your power? Their chaos, or your peace? Draft the line. Say no. Protect your mind. You've done it before. That moment you held your ground, felt your fire burn brighter. It's still there. A true friend respects your walls. The rest, let them go. You're not their savior. You're your own. You're enough. The night is deep now. Your window fogs with mist. The cities hum a distant murmur. You sit there alone. The glow of your phone long faded. No notifications, no voice, just you. The silence, it's heavy, it's yours, not the noise of the crowd, not the weight of their needs, not the case you once chased. This quiet, it's not empty, it's full of your strength, your fire, your power to stand alone. You've felt it before. That moment you chose to stay still, to let the world spin without you. The peace that came when you didn't answer the call, didn't run to the noise, didn't beg for their eyes. You didn't need them. You never did. The void isn't a hole to fill. It's a space to build your fortress, your truth, your soul. You've walked through betrayal, through empty promises, through faces that faded. You're still here, stronger, clearer, enough. The world will keep pulling. Friends will cross lines. Crowds will call. Shadows will promise to make you whole. You know better now. You've learned to guard your heart, to choose your few, to stand in the silence. Find your own light. Next time the phone stays dark, next time the invite doesn't come, what will you do? Will you chase the noise or stand steady in the quiet you've claimed? We're still here, not to shout, not to preach, just to sit with you in this moment. If you need a place to breathe, to be still, to be enough, we're here always.